we may not be alone.
Welcome to the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast, where we explore the unexplained and mysterious phenomena that have occurred throughout the state of Michigan and beyond.
From UFO sightings to ghostly encounters, we delve deep into the stories, the evidence, and the theories behind these strange events.
We are your hosts. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Wayne.
We are an educator duo that after an encounter with a triangular UFO in 2018 in Michigan, we decided to investigate UFOs and the paranormal. In this podcast, we will be speaking with eyewitnesses, experts, and researchers to uncover the truth about some of the most intriguing cases of paranormal activity in and around Michigan.
Our goal is not to convince anyone of the existence of these phenomena, but rather to provide a platform for discussion and exploration. So, buckle up and join us on this journey down the paranormal rabbit hole.
On an escalator.
Okay, well, hello everyone.
Hi everyone from frigid Michigan.
From frigid Michigan.
Where,
and as a quick safety note, Southeast Michigan schools are closed for tomorrow. So just so everybody knows.
most of them, not everyone has gotten the call, but the majority.
Yeah. It's a snowmageddon. But anyways, hey everyone, and welcome back to the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast / live stream. It is January 24th, 2026. We are coming to you once again from the shadow of the great Motor City, Detroit, Michigan, during the snowstorm of the century.
This is nuts. And I can't remember what year it was. I keep wanting to say like 2017, or maybe it was before then. But I remember going back, or we were supposed to go back at the end of Christmas break, and it got extended out like a whole other week, or at least like 4 days. Now, recently, we were off, was it 1 or 2 days last week?
1 day.
It was Friday.
Friday, yeah.
So Thursday we went, but now I'm starting to hear rumors that our attendance didn't count.
Yeah.
And then... let's see, tomorrow we're out, and Tuesday is looking like in the negative,
30.
Yeah.
Negative 30 with wind chill is the forecast for southeastern Michigan. And
that just hurts my soul.
It's at like 6 a.m. when all the kids are getting on the buses. So
I now understand that one TikTok video where it's so cold. I'm not made for cold. I'm made for Margaritaville. I totally get it.
So anyways, tonight, Michelle and I are going to do something a little different. We've done our solo shows before, so we've got no guests tonight. It seems like this is the time of year everybody goes on like a little break and enjoys their time off for the winter season. But tonight, no filter, no nothing. It's just us and a question that feels more relevant now than ever.
I was going to say, because Wayne kind of hit me with this question, and it's like, we could probably talk about that for a little while.
I kept it from Michelle for quite a bit. She just heard it before we went live, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. It has something to do with like the thumbnail and stuff. So what if UFOs, UAPs, whatever these things are, suddenly stopped hiding? What if they didn't just show up in one place, but everywhere?
We're talking across cities, across highways, over oceans, above our homes. So with sightings increasing, governments quietly acknowledging these encounters and strange objects now being tracked, not just in the sky, but under the water. It feels like we're standing on the edge of something big.
Yep.
So tonight we're asking, what happens to humanity when the unknown becomes undeniable? So we're glad that you're here with us. So let's get into it.
Yeah, I agree, Michelle. Let's jump into some recent news. But first, we got to play this.
News sound. That's what it is.
Well, first up in the news, let's cover this before we go any further. All of you people here in southeastern Michigan, northern Ohio, northern Indiana, and the tri-state area, don't forget we have this coming up, and it's approaching very fast. It's Ray Szymanski and the Swamp Gas My Ass special presentation celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Dexter, Ann Arbor, Hillsdale 1966 UFO flap that went on for almost 2 weeks, probably even longer. Ray's going to have some special eyewitness guests there. You can register for 2 days. It's on March 20th and March 21st, 2026 at the Dexter District Library in Dexter, Michigan. It is free. You just have to register and make sure you do register because they fill up and they do not have, I don't think they do extra standing room only or anything like that. So make sure Ray's going to be there. But sign up and Ray will be there to do book sales and signings, and you can talk to him. He's going to have a question and answer session. Michelle and I have been to a couple of his presentations and they're great. So March 20th, which is a Friday, and March 21st, which is a Saturday, 2026, you can get over to the Dexter Library in Dexter, Michigan, and sign up and do all that good stuff. They'll put the times up there. I think the one on the 21st is the Saturday one we're going to, and that starts at like 2:00. So if you can make it, Ray's always saying this is the last one he's doing. So
Ray always puts
Ray
on a good,
always says
he
that.
does a good presentation too. So
absolutely.
Hey, there we are.
Go. Yeah, sometimes when we switch and add things in. So yeah, so anyways, guys, March 20th and 21st, 2026 over at the Dexter District Library in Dexter, Michigan. Register. It's free. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with our favorite type of UFO, Michelle. You know what this is.
It has 3 equal sides.
Yes.
Pointy on 3 ends.
Correct. And I think some people have already been talking about this, but we haven't covered it. So it's the mysterious Dorito-shaped aircraft spotted flying at night over Area 51, which is very interesting.
But is that a nacho cheese or a Cool Ranch?
No, it's the new taco flavor.
Ooh, is it that late night looking taco? Those are pretty good.
Taco Dorito. So that's what we got going on here. So over here on New York Post, and by the way, we will post all the links in the show description once the show is done and doing its saving thing over on YouTube. But mysterious Dorito-shaped aircraft spotted flying at night over Area 51. Something interesting here. This was back on just January 23rd, 2026. This was released. So a mysterious Dorito-shaped aircraft was spotted soaring above the highly classified Area 51 military base in southern Nevada. Off-grid videographer Anders Ottosson, known for documenting the mysterious landscapes around the military installation for his YouTube channel, Uncanny Expeditions. Go check that out. It's pretty cool. Was out in the desert when he recorded a strange, unidentified aircraft around 3 a.m. on January 14th. The aircraft, believed to be an unidentified aerial phenomenon, appeared to have an equilateral triangle shape, noticeably different from the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber that Ottosson filmed earlier that night. Now, check out that picture, huh? You guys see that? Look at that.
Hence why they called it the Dorito.
Yeah. So here's where things get interesting, though, and then we'll continue on. Michelle can read the next parts here. But pull that up and let's go to the next picture. Oh, it's a B2. They call it the B2A. I think there's the B21.
They are sharp looking.
They are masterful aircraft. But let's go back. The thing that gets me in this picture is those little indents right there. I know it's hard to see. I don't know if it'll let me zoom in. No, it just shrinks it. So there is what looks like some type of a little indent. And when you're filming something that's, 7 miles up in the air, probably about 36,000 feet or so, you lose the detail in the camera that will pixelate and just fill in the pixels. So I don't know. We're gonna see a video of it here in a minute. But what do you guys think? And by the way, don't forget, I got a poll going over here in the chat. What would you do if UFOs disclose themselves around the world? Freak the hell out? Welcome our space brothers? Or I have no idea until it happens. So we'll visit that before we leave.
So and here's the thing. I've seen a lot going on in chat as far as investigating Greer and and so on. And we have looked into all of their theories and also, what they've had to say. So this is more of just a fun hypothetical show. Like what we think humanity would actually do. I'll be perfectly honest. I imagine myself driving down Wayne Road from work the other day, coming home.
Don't give away anything.
I just said Wayne Road. That was it.
Uh-huh.
And your name is Wayne.
I'm not a road.
There you go.
Okay.
But your name is Wayne. So anyhow, driving home, I just kind of went into like fantasy thought and was like, okay, what if a bunch of UFOs appeared over me as I was driving home? What would I do?
Yeah, that's a great question. So don't spoil it till we get to that part. Don't spoil it because I want it to be fresh in your head. You know the question. Just keep thinking over it. Why don't you go ahead and take over here, Michelle?
Okay, so while the B2 has a similar V-wing profile, Oatson said the mystery craft appeared to have a flatter trailing as you move things on me, edge, no visible wings, and a jagged rear section.
Hey,
hey,
I've seen a lot of people with a jagged rear section.
Hey, still, Oatson noted that given the limited resolution, he would not rule out the possibility that it was a B2 or another military aircraft.
That's right. So, where's the video? I think this is the video. All right, let's play the video real quick.
After a couple of hours of not seeing much more than contrails in the distance, closer to 3 o'clock in the morning, I got another low flyover, but this one looked different.
Oh.
The aircraft that passed overhead this time appeared to be closer to an equilateral triangle shape with a flatter trailing edge.
Okay, my big problem with this is that it's giving a contrail. That means that there is some type of an energy source putting out heat, heating up the atmosphere, and then the atmosphere is freezing behind it. UFOs have been known to use some type of propulsion system that does not create heat. Everything we've seen is it's some kind of a different propulsion system. So I'm immediately suspect. Besides the shape of it's cool, but I don't see any glowing lights in the corners. I don't see the center light that's usually on these things, not the one Michelle and I saw, but all right. So this thing is leaving a contrail behind. And there have never been reports of UFOs leaving a contrail. So that makes me wonder. It is cool though. Good video. Hey, August Rose, how are you? Bigfoot Michigan Rob, what's going on, bro? Hey, Brian Bowden. All you people in chat, how are you doing? There's Rick. This is pretty cool. I'm going to admit, it's a great
Immediately,
capture.
my mind goes back to a pair of photos captured in 2014, appearing to show an as yet unacknowledged triangle-shaped aircraft.
Now, I like this. This is pretty cool, but again, there's a contrail. I'm thinking that is like a B2 or maybe a modified version. But again, cameras get funky when they try to focus in on something far away. Family fun time, cool. I love you.
You have a lot of students showing up
I think
tonight.
it's a lot of students showing up. I think that might be a certain girl in my first hour.
I'm telling you, I think that they might be going through we're not in school withdrawals.
Yeah, no school tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, if you're there. But let's check this out. Look at this thing. That's pretty cool.
One in Wichita, Kansas, taken by photographer Jeff Templin, and another in Amarillo, Texas, taken by photographer Steve Douglas. I'd also been made aware of more recent witness accounts of Dorito-shaped aircraft spotted in remote areas of Southern California, particularly Death Valley. Given the limited resolution, we can't definitively rule out a B-2 or other...
Oh my God. See, he just said it. Listen to what he says right here.
Amarillo, Texas, taken by photographer Steve Douglas.
Right here.
I'd also been made aware of more recent witness accounts of Dorito-shaped aircraft spotted in remote areas of Southern California, particularly Death Valley. Given the limited resolution, we can't definitively rule out a B-2 or other more conventional blended wing aircraft pitched at...
The resolution of the cameras. Absolutely. You can't rule that out at a great distance like that. And if you've ever used a camera to try to take a picture of something far away, you guys know exactly what's going on here. I think the contrails give it away. It's some type of conventional craft, could be experimental, especially if it's in Wichita and over Death Valley where they do a lot of test flights. Yeah, I'm not sold on it.
At an odd angle to potentially result in the appearance of a flat trailing edge, as has been discussed in relation to the Amarillo, Texas sighting, with some asserting that those photos simply show B-2s. So are we looking at a classified test flight or a run-of-the-mill training sortie? The next day would reveal some additional data that added more layers to the mystery.
All right, so there you go, guys. Very cool stuff. Michelle, why don't you go ahead and finish us up here?
Let's see. Are we looking at a classified test flight or run-of-the-mill training sortie? The Explorer asked. I certainly think we have something interesting here. Odison said the aircraft matched the shape and flight trail seen in 2014 photos, showing what appeared to be an as yet unacknowledged triangle-shaped aircraft over Wichita, Kansas, and Amarillo, Texas. The two photos appear to show similar unidentified triangle-shaped aircraft. I can't talk today. I haven't been talking in front of my kids. That's what it is.
We're excited for no school.
Unlike any known Air Force planes or drones. He added that the sighting also reminded him of more recent reports of similar Dorito-shaped. I'm sorry.
Dorito-shaped.
Whenever you compare something that's in the sky to food, aircraft spotted over Southern California's remote desert regions.
God, now there are rumors and theories out there that the reason we have craft like this is because of the crash retrieval programs and the backwards engineering. Hey, Straw Dog, we see you there. How's it going, my man? Good to see you. Gemini Moon. All of you lovely people joining us tonight. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. You really don't know how much we really appreciate you, but we do. All right, Michelle, take us out.
On January 15th, Odison linked up with UFO researcher George Arnoux, I'm thinking.
Or Horig might be Spanish. I don't know.
Who knows?
Don't know.
Who shared scanner audio allegedly capturing odd snack-themed code words.
That's why they call it a Dorito.
By us, we're crunchy.
They're codes. They're pilots talking in codes.
Over Area 51's unencrypted radio channels during a B-2 bomber flight hours before the Dorito-shaped sighting. The pilots were heard tossing around phrases like profile Michelob, Imperial with garlic, pretzel snack, and fridge hydrate during the exchange.
To make you hungry while we're covering the story.
Arnie said the chatter was different than anything he had previously heard after decades of monitoring the airwaves.
You know, and these guys will mess with you. These guys will definitely mess with you if they know, and they can detect in their aircraft when their communications are being listened to. They will say goofy stuff.
Be
to
like,
throw
Project Make Me a Sandwich.
Yeah. I mean, even David Fravor, they talked about how when they were flying the F-18s, how they would mess with campers. Like, you cannot hear those jet aircraft coming straight at you. Like, they can spot campers, okay, on like the edge of mountains and stuff. And people are up in the mountains camping. They can spot their fires and lights from way up in the air. They'll come cruising down real quiet. No lights on, no nothing. They're using their night vision to fly and see the ground. And then they buzz right over the camp doing about 400, 500 miles per hour. And then they go full afterburner as they fly over the campers and then go straight up in the air, pull the afterburner off, and then you can't see the craft and it's just gone and quiet. It is crazy. Yes, Willow, this is Area 51.
This is Southern Nevada.
Yep. All right. On January 15th, Olson linked up.
Just read that.
Oh, wait a minute. Yep. There you go.
You just wanted to read Michelob profile.
Yeah. Bob. Psh, profile Michelob. Psh, Imperial with garlic. Psh, pretzel snack. Psh.
See, I like Brian in chat. Well, thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
But he said the same thing I did. Are we talking about nacho cheese?
Late night taco. Late night taco.
Those
Doritos.
loaded tacos are delicious. They taste like tostadas.
Hey, we see Sigma Guy 3000 is in the chat. Yeah, Stephen Greer. Yeah, Stephen Greer is very interesting. I'm kind of agnostic when it comes to all these guys anymore, man. I don't know. There's too many sides to this coin when it comes to this stuff. There's a good aerial shot of Area 51. You can see the runways.
I still remember stories from my one brother about how they were on a trip out there and got stopped at a gas station after they had stopped the car for one of them to relieve themselves on the side of the road from too many liquid beverages. And so they were quickly they could notice like the Jeeps and stuff racing towards the fence line where they were. So they got in the car, kept going, stopped at a gas station down the road.
Yep.
And the Jeeps caught up with them there, kind of like, you have no business here.
That's right.
So
those security guys do not mess around. They will follow you out of the area. Make sure you're staying out of the area. But Olson cautioned, however, that the code words could be routine military jargon used by pilots communicating over radio channels. Still, the YouTuber believes there is something interesting happening in the airspace around Area 51. There always is. Nevada logged more than 40 reported sightings of triangular unidentified aerial phenomenon in 2025. So there's an uptick right there. According to the National UFO Reporting Center, Area 51 remained secret for decades, becoming a focal point of UFO lore for years until the government formally acknowledged its existence in 2013. And by 2012, they were probably done using it for anything really important at that point. Okay. So there you go, guys. New York Post. Dorito-shaped aircraft spotted flying at night over Area 51.
Just when you think you're not going to have a food-related comparison.
That's right.
There you go.
Yep. All right. So let's go on to our next. I don't know, Michelle, you got any other comments you want to make on that one?
I think you might need to take a look at chat and
let's see what's
go
going
into
on
teacher
in chat.
mode a little bit.
Oh, we got Riley Brickley 2 in there. She's saying be nice. Yep. And then I see Ava's in there.
Uh-huh.
Can I piss on Mars? She asks. Well, I wish you luck with that.
Doesn't it go straight back up?
Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 8,
7, 8, 9.
8, 9. Yeah.
That one I do know.
Yeah. All right.
We got a funny story about knowing jokes, remember?
Which one?
The one when we were in Tahoe, when we were on the bus going
God.
back after the storm had crashed out on the lake. So we're sitting on the bus and the driver's
trying to entertain us because our lunch cruise was canceled on Lake Tahoe and it was snowing.
It was in June.
It was
last year.
And it was snowing last year, and that storm collapsed on top of Lake Tahoe, and like 8 people were killed out on the lake when their boat flipped over. So it was a pretty drastic situation, but the driver decides he's going to try to entertain us. And what did he do, Michelle?
He said, what was it? Why can't you hear a pterodactyl urinate? And Wayne and I at the same time, we were like, because the P is silent, and like everybody on the bus like turns and like starts cracking up, and we just have to look there.
And we're just sitting there like
we're teachers.
I've used this one in class.
So we've done this joke before, and fortunately our timing was impeccable because we gave the punchline right at the same time.
It was funny. It was funny. Now, before we move on to the next news story, if you have seen a triangular craft that you couldn't identify, go ahead and drop a 1 in chat. Let's just see. I want to do a quick poll here. And don't forget, answer the real poll that's up in the chat room right now. So apparently I have a crush on Jose. That's my little bro. Okay, let's see. We've got 3, 4 so far. 5. So if you've seen a triangular craft, but you haven't been able to identify it, drop a 1 in chat.
Well, I knew of 4 of these people.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, if you have ever seen a triangular craft, drop the number 1 in chat.
Yeah. And also the poll is up in the chat room on YouTube. It says, what would you do if UFOs disclosed themselves around the world? Freak the hell out? Welcome our space brothers? Or I have no idea until it happens. So there you go. Yeah, Dorothy in chat, you say almost triangular. We can count that. Sure. Absolutely.
Yep. Like I said, I was aware of 4 of those people out of there, but a lot of new ones.
Yeah.
So
we have just about 100 people watching tonight. So
thank you for joining us on this.
There it is, 100 people.
Cold.
On this cold, blustery,
explicative Sunday evening where the kids are happy because they get another snow day tomorrow, and teachers everywhere. We're getting a case of the Sunday scaries earlier today.
Yeah, because schools wait till the last minute to call it. And as a parent, before I was a teacher, being a parent, you need to let parents know as soon as you can about canceling school so you can make arrangements for babysitters and things like that.
Well, especially with some of the daycares, because some of the daycares have closed down too.
And, schools get like 6 days that they can use. And if they need to use more, they have to put in a waiver for the state. And usually the state doesn't deny them. There's emergencies and weather things that happen quite a bit. So whether it's broken water mains, heat's not working, things like that. All right, Michelle, what do we come up with for a number?
I want to say it was at least 7 or 8.
Okay. So 7 or 8 people have seen that. seeing a craft that was triangular shaped that they couldn't identify. Cool. All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump on over to this news article real quick. Bada boom, bada bing. And we are over on Fox News, it looks like we got sent to on this one. And this one is UFO task force eyed as lawmaker warns of strange objects in sky and waters, defying known technology. So proposed task force would work with federal partners to assess airspace safety risk and investigate UAP reports. This is actually pretty cool. Michelle, why don't you start us off here?
A Vermont lawmaker is setting his sights on the skies with a new bill poised to create a UFO panel within the state. Representative Troy Hedrick, independent of Burlington, has introduced legislation looking to set up the Vermont Airspace Safety and Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Task Force. There's an acronym for you. According to the Vermont Digger. The bill reportedly proposes the creation of a state task force to investigate reports of both unidentified aerospace and underwater objects. Ding, ding, ding. Assess safety risks regarding airspace and work alongside federal partners and researchers to discover improved policies.
Yes. You want to take that last little part?
The task force would be composed of officials from Vermont's Departments of Transportation and Public Safety, while also opening up seats for lawmakers and experts on the topic.
So I just want to say this is kind of cool that states at the state level are looking at creating their own little task force. Now, there is the volunteer group of MUFON, right? Mutual UFO Network. Yeah. That one, that operate in, I think, all the states except for maybe a couple. But this would be like a state funded, federally funded type of thing for every state, which I think is very awesome that they need to do to investigate some of this stuff. All right. It goes on to say, I am not a subject matter expert at all, Hedrick said. The Vermont Digger reported. As policymakers, I think we have an obligation to remain attentive to emerging trends in public safety. According to H.654, the panel would investigate reports of any unknown objects that exhibit performance characteristics not consistent with currently understood technologies, such as instantaneous acceleration, absent observable inertia or hypersonic velocity without a corresponding thermal signature or sonic boom. And that's going back to that first article where we saw the contrail. That wouldn't fall into this, unfortunately. That had some type of propulsion that was making that contrail. Hedrick initially introduced the legislation at the request of a constituent, lobbyist Maggie Lenz, according to Stephen Days, Vermont. Lenz, owner of Atlas Government Affairs, reportedly became interested in the issue after a string of UAPs, or unidentified anomalous phenomenon, made headlines throughout New Jersey in 2024, sparking nationwide panic regarding countless mysterious flying objects. Yeah, those were drones. And they're not going to tell us who they were from. So let's leave that at that. I'm certainly not saying that it's aliens. Oh, God. Why did she have to go there?
I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
Oh, my God. Lenz said, according to Steve Days, Vermont. But I do think just having the conversation here in Vermont will begin to allow for it to be taken a little bit more seriously. The proposed legislation replicates the federal government's response to UAPs in recent years following Congress passing of the Unidentified Anomalous Phenomenon Disclosure Act in 2023 and the U.S. Department of War's creation of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. Michelle, you want to take that part?
Yeah, the draft bill indicates that Vermonters have reported UAP sightings to police in various instances, signaling a need for a coordinated response between state and federal officials. While speaking before Vermont's House Government Operations Committee last week, Hedrick offered a more down-to-earth reason behind the proposed bill, pointing to the surge of drones throughout the state. The proliferation of drone use. This is where I see the need for data, Hedrick told the committee, the Vermont Digger reported. Hedrick did not immediately respond to Fox News Digital's request for comment.
While the proposed bill has yet to be voted on by the committee, Hedrick reportedly tried to sweeten the deal by promising to look into Vermont's famed sea monster if the legislation is passed. For the cryptid fans out or fans in the room, there's an underwater provision to this as well, Hedrick said, according to the Vermont Digger. So we want to investigate Champ. Oh, Lake Champlain. Yeah, we can do that. Now, here's what I think is fascinating about this. Underwater submerged objects. Unidentified, right? So USOs. So thank you, Dorothy, for the super chat, and also Rick,
Riley.
Yeah, Riley. Thank you for the super chats. Well, that was a super sticker. Thank you, Riley. You're awesome. Thank you, Dorothy. We appreciate you. Much love, much love. Okay. So yeah, so getting into that off the coast kind of a location where they're looking for undersea things. And you know what? This kind of goes back to what I was thinking about those drones in New Jersey. I still think that those drones, that was Chinese technology launched from subs, or they were U.S. subs testing out new technology. Well, and they were using people over in New Jersey for that. And I also think that there was also a piece of nuclear material that was lost, stolen, or something.
Well, they said that it came off of one of the freighters that they couldn't find it, and that's what the drones were in the area for.
Yeah, but they didn't want to say that because they didn't want to freak people out. Because
no, but look at the fact that we had talked to Gemma, during that time that everything was going on, and she was talking about like the sound and even like the vibration that was going on in that area. That's scary.
And now there's another little city somewhere, I forgot where it is, where they're complaining about a vibration that's keeping them awake and driving their animals crazy. And they're trying to figure out where that is. And I can't remember where that is. So there is something I wanted to put up here from Sigma Guy. And he says this. Such advanced propulsion systems running on anti-gravity and zero-point energy, the ability to bend time and space, dematerialize at one location and rematerialize in another. Yes, and that's why I say that if you see a contrail, it's not that advanced. That's still using normal, quote-unquote, propulsion where you're burning something to create thrust. So, yeah. So I agree. Now, do we have that technology? Some people will say yes, just like they say that these triangular craft are TR-3Bs or whatever they may be. But if history is anywhere near being kind of true, if people were seeing the triangular craft back in 1980, place like in Denmark and those triangular craft where the first pictures were taken, imagine what they got now. I mean, let's be realistic. What we see as UFOs now are what they'll release in another 20 or 30 years as our new weaponry. I mean, it seems like that's the way it always is going. So let's go on to let's see. I like USOs, the underwater sighting stuff. I like the whole idea because it gives us more information, especially about, I'm not going to say I have experience with submarines because I wouldn't be able to say that if I did, but you could launch drones very easily off of subs. You pop up on the surface for a second or two. These drones are ready to go right off the deck, and they go and they're pre-programmed and they dive back under the water. I mean, I just, yeah, I can't. I think if we were investigating USOs, we would find out some of these things, and we may not like the fact that China and Russia are probably operating very close off of our coastlines, which brings me to our next article.
And that's a scary thought.
It is. So, Michelle,
where are we going?
I'm going to pop this up here, but first, hold on. What do we got here? We have shoulda, woulda, coulda, been from Canada.
I just love the name.
I love that name. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, been. Good to listen to discussions with those from the same region globally.
Oh,
I'm like 11 hours north of Detroit. Close enough, huh?
I was going to say, your air temps, you sent them down our way. Thank you.
Yeah, we're getting all your cold air and everything right now. And by the way, just so everybody knows, you can become an Eyes to That Sky member by hitting that join button down below and become a member and get some special perks like custom emojis to use in chat.
Speaking of emojis, I don't know if you guys noticed the
yes, our new artwork and new intro.
So drivers, our little alien is winking at everyone, and then the other one looks like he's on steroids.
Yep. It's like drivers, like a little winking little baby alien carrying his Harry Potter book in his aircraft or his UFO.
See, and
then he evolves like an anime figure, and he's greater than 9,000.
See, and I've joked with Wayne, but it's going to happen. Baby Driver, the one in the UFO, is going to be my next tattoo. I just have to figure out when and like where.
If you don't know what we're talking about, if you look up at the top banner on top of YouTube, you guys can see the new artwork. My
Baby Driver is the one like winking, but it's our middle pumpkin who is graduating college soon and did the drawings for us for Christmas.
Amazing digital artist. She can do some amazing things. And so it's hard to see with the little baby alien gray in the UFO, but it's holding a Harry Potter book, and that was done that way as a kind of a show to Michelle, for her Harry Potter classroom
obsession
and stuff like that.
My obsession.
Yep. And then the other guy over on the right hand side, if you're watching YouTube, is the anime version of him all grown up.
That's the gym version.
Yeah,
that's the I've been to the gym and more than calisthenics.
Yes. Yep. But shoulda, woulda, coulda been. Thank you very much for that awesome super chat, and we're glad to have you on and listening and watching. So with that being said, let's jump into our next lovely article. I like this one because it's more scientific, and I'm a science teacher. So,
and what's the percentage of water that has not been?
Like the percentage of the ocean?
Yeah, that's been like
mapped?
Yeah, is it like
75, 80%?
Yeah, 80% is about what I thought.
Yeah, and the ocean floor too. So if you look at Google Earth and things like that, a lot of the ocean floor that you see in those are kind of extrapolated out. It's not true. 100% correct. So, all right, Michelle, why don't you go ahead and talk about this? Because this is an app. Everybody can get on their phone. This is very cool.
So UFO app logs mysterious underwater sightings. So another app to put on their phone.
Yep.
Enigma, a popular UFO reporting app, monitors unusual serial activity. However, they also receive reports of objects emerging from bodies of water or traveling underwater.
Yes.
Enigma has recently released a collection that serves as a repository for these reports and includes a history of anomalous underwater reports and statistics on the reports they have received.
Yep.
Unidentified submersible objects, USOs, refer to any object or phenomenon detected underwater that cannot be immediately identified or explained. The term is similar to UFO or UAP, but applies specifically to subsurface or underwater contexts. From medieval chronicles to present day Navy radar logs, witnesses have reported observations both with the naked eye and through sensors like sonar. They are often described as moving at extraordinary speeds, taking sudden changes of direction with impossible precision, and transitioning between water and air without leaving a ripple, transmedium capabilities. So USO reports go back to the 11th century when witnesses in England reported seeing a fiery object that revolved, ascended on high, and then descended into the sea, repeatedly reappearing off the Northumberland coast. In a famous report from 1825, English naturalist Andrew Bloxham, sailing on the HMS Blonde, witnessed a red luminous orb rising from the sea. He wrote that it was the color of a red-hot cannon shot and bright enough that a pin might be picked up on deck.
Jeez.
The orb arose and fell twice before vanishing from sight. Reports continue to this day. Veteran Navy sonar operator Aaron Amick has noted that unusual fast mover contacts occasionally appear on sonar, but they are so quick that you can't measure the speed. In this November 2024 testimony before the House Oversight Committee, former Naval Rear Admiral Tim Gallaudet made it clear that he sees these objects and incidents as a serious national security risk. Of the reports Enigma has collected, two include mysterious lights moving below the ocean's surface, captured on phone cameras, and seafarers reporting objects coming up from the deep. The most striking video is of two mysterious underwater lights captured from a boat.
Okay, and I'm going to play you guys this video. All right, and I don't want you guys to take away from the fact that these USOs, I believe, are real, because it goes way back, as you saw, to 1825, where these people are seeing these things coming and going out of the water. And I think this is why Tim Burchett was talking about, he was doing his what if. This is some type of a civilization that we've been living with for a very long time, but they live under the water. Their technology is that advanced. Now, Michelle, do you want to before we look at the lights, or this is the
I've got this
paragraph?
So as of August of 2025, the Enigma app has logged over 9,000 U.S. sightings within 10 miles of shorelines and major waterways.
Yep.
Approximately 1,500 of those reports specifically mention water, ocean, lake, or beach. And roughly 500 of those occurred within 5 miles of a coastline. More than 150 reports describe objects hovering above or ascending into or descending from bodies of water. The U.S. states with the most USO reports are California and Florida, which is not surprising given their large coastal populations.
Yes. So this is some of the locations here. And again, we'll link this article and everything in chat, but I want to show you guys this video. 2023 June 11th. I'm gonna pull this up here, and I'm gonna have to share this, but I'm gonna turn the audio off on the video because it is not safe for work. Okay, so there is sound. You can look this up on your own.
Yeah, but if you're listening to this at work, we don't want anyone written up.
Lots of F-bombs and things like that. Okay, so again, you can look that up on your own. So let me see. Okay.
I was going to say
Let
the
me share
picture
this.
alone looks really cool.
It is. And
And where was this at?
good question.
I mean,
This
it looks
was
like
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay.
All right. And if I pull up the report, so I'm going to leave the video sitting there. Let me tell you what they wrote. It says here, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 11:36 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We were out fishing in my boat and another friend on his boat so they had two boats, okay, and they were out fishing. As we decided to head back to the boat ramp, we noticed this two bright lights underwater. I'm reading it as they typed it. First, we thought it was a fellow boater in trouble, but once we got close to it, we quickly realized it wasn't. Any ideas? Okay. All right, check it out. Now, these are cool. Michelle, what color is that? You know, I'm colorblind.
It's like a greenish.
Green. Okay. So I'm going to let that play through.
Okay. So Earth and Space Guide and water. What do you know about oceanography?
Enough.
Are there any like schools of fish or any specific animals that would cast a light like that?
Bioluminescent fish. Absolutely. That is possible. That bright and acting like that, though? No, not like that. All right. So just keep on watching. We're about halfway there. And people listening later to the audio version of this show, please jump over to YouTube and you can check out this video. You might even be able to find it on TikTok. But look at that. I mean, come on. That is sweet.
Well, I think because it's more centered, and when you can look down there, it almost looks like there's two lights side by side.
There's two. There definitely is.
But then here's the question too.
Now, wait a minute though, Michelle. And this might change your question. There are two areas where there's lights in the video. 100%. Okay. They are greenish. I can't see it, so I'll take your word for it. They were fishing. Okay. So keep that in mind. And they thought it was a boat in trouble. Now, these guys were arguing on the boat. They were going, and I'm not playing the audio. Sorry, guys. I don't want to get the explicit tag on this show. All right. They're arguing back and forth about don't drive over the effing lights. What the F is that? Blah, blah, blah. You guys can kind of go from there. But they're arguing on the boat. Don't drive over it. Don't drive over it.
And I saw the question about how you're not tempted to drop your anchor. Whoopsie.
Yeah. They do say something about dropping anchor too. And he's like, no.
It's just like I said, the fish or some sort of animal is like the first thing that I would have thought of.
Yep, me too.
Because depending on like the migration even closer towards land, but also think about some of those submersibles that people have the money to afford that can go under the water to kind of navigate around. You know what I'm talking about. We've seen movies with them.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if it could be a couple of those under the water.
Okay, so let me read you. There was 5 comments left on the Enigma website underneath this video. This is not on TikTok. This is on the actual Enigma site. And there's a few of them here. And I just want to read you a couple of them and what they say. One person says, looks like bioluminescent stuff in the water. Could be algae and things like that, or fish or something. Sure. It says, what is that at the very end of the clip before it starts over? On the left side of the screen, it looks like another boat or something with green light at its tip. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So somewhere over here, I think they're talking about right there. See that?
Well, I see a different color, like a reddish, but I don't know if
This.
it's the green. Yeah, I see those.
Okay, so that somebody noticed that. Okay. And it looks like that is some kind of a boat there. You can see the fishing pole. Okay. All right, so somebody spotted that right there. See it? This. And then there's that blue, but they're right by that light. Okay.
But could that blue be the light off the other boat?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. All right. And then it says, how did the video start off with evening sky, change to storm-like sky, then nighttime, back to evening sky? And then somebody says, that's South Florida for you, LOL.
It's kind of like
Now,
Michigan, wait 5 minutes.
If Brian's in chat, he could talk to that because Florida has some very flippy out kind of weather, and it changes. Storms coming in off the ocean and things like that. Now, somebody got real smart and put a link to something underneath this video. And this is why I think it's important for everybody to keep in mind, have an open mind, but not so open that your brain is falling out. Okay? Let me show you what this person linked. And the person that linked this page is a diver. Are you ready, Michelle? Here's the big reveal. Bum, bum, bum. Now, it's in German. Can you read that, Michelle? You speak German.
Yeah, that's not the German. I mean, well, we know that the first part, the unter Wasser, is underwater.
Mm-hmm.
The second word has to do with the lamp, or like the LED.
This word right here.
The angel lamp,
Okay.
before the 300 watt. Before
What
the
is?
green.
Isn't this a color?
Green.
They're diving lights.
So there were two of them.
They bait. That's how they catch bait fish. These guys were
that
coming
would
back
make
from
sense.
fishing.
But yeah, they take a video making it believe that it's something else.
Isn't
I
that
should-
some shite? This made me
Scheiße.
mad, dude.
Go with a little bit of German there.
Let me translate to English. Hold on. I don't want you to have a there we go. Underwater fishing lights, 300 watt green LED 360 with IP68 protection, up to 50 meter immersion with 6 meter cable. $164.
I knew about half of that German.
Yeah, you were good. You're good. I mean, you're
It's been
talking how many years ago
It's
that
been
you
a
were taking German?
Long time.
Long time ago, right?
Eek.
But they use these to pull in bait fish. All right? Yeah, they're underwater fishing lights.
It's
So I think that's what was going on. They were trying to pull a
Pretty-
fast one. Now,
pretty pricey.
yeah, but they said they're fishers, right? They're fishermen. They had 2 boats and they were coming back from fishing. So, I got to go with what makes sense here. And unfortunately, it's fishing lights.
It's a pretty color green.
Yeah. Let's see. What's this in chat? Michigan Eddie. Hey, Wayne, I was listening to an older show and you mentioned you were still looking into Michigan copper being found globally. Yes. Super intrigued by that topic and I hope it ends up being discussed deeper. Yes, sir. Absolutely, Michigan Eddie. Still looking into that because I think that the Bronze Age may have been fueled by Michigan copper, all those strip mines that are missing. Those people from the Middle East.
Isn't that a subject that Carlson talks about too?
Carlson will talk about that too,
Yeah,
which
one-
he still needs to get back to me.
I
Randall.
was gonna say
Randall.
talk to the dude right before Christmas. Calls Wayne up. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah, I know. We're sitting here talking on the phone. Randall Carlson.
We knew
And-
he was busy, but it was
Yeah.
like,
Well, he was leaving to go to the Azores and look for Atlantis, and he found some really cool stuff.
So eventually we'll get him back on. He's
Yeah,
a busy dude.
He is. He's a busy dude. Come on. He's got Joe Rogan on speed dial and they hang out together and stuff. So, you know, but anyways, guys, I think that kind of took away the mystery of that.
It would be interesting with this app though, too, with
Yes.
us being surrounded by the Great Lakes, how many of those little red dots would show up.
Yes.
So
because we know all about stuff in Michigan.
Well,
lakes.
and I can only imagine like the story from 94 that those campers,
yes,
if they ever walked away and told their family or friends or anyone or even talked to each other about what they had seen
absolutely
with, 2,000 feet, was it 2,000 feet or 200 feet?
What,
I know that
what,
there was
the water
two.
spout?
No, yeah, the water spout going up.
2,000
So 2,000 feet, this water spout going up
into a UFO.
That's crazy.
Off the coast of Michigan. So yeah, 2 winter. Now you're crazy if you're camping in Michigan winter on Lake Michigan.
Well, here's the thing. Back in 94, it may not have been as insanely cold as it is, but it was March. So,
absolutely.
I mean, it would have been cold, but not like butt freezing, call schools off cold.
Right.
Like this weekend.
Yes. Yeah. And man, Tuesday, it's going to be really cold here.
Yeah. I was going to say for the kiddos who are in chat, don't be surprised if you don't get another notification tomorrow night.
Yep.
So, because
-30 is, it only takes about 30 minutes, probably less than that for
and
your skin.
Districts call it around here at -20. So, because I went to work on one of the -15 days. Wayne, you had the day off, didn't you?
When
we had like -15.
Yeah.
So he had it off. I drove in. It was horrible. And then we ended up with
we have worse roads than you have to deal with. We've got the Monroe dirt roads and stuff like that. And like trailer park areas and things where it's hard for those
plows
buses
don't
to
go
get
through.
Yeah.
So if you're in Michigan and they've called a snow advisory, please get your car off the street.
Yes. It's a snow emergency here in Southeast Michigan. Get your cars off the street. Get them off the street.
So thank you, Brian.
Hey, Brian. Let's see. What did he say? I have seen UFOs fly into the Hudson River and become USOs. Absolutely, dude. Important to note, USOs move, unlike the lights in the video. Absolutely.
I was going to say that in that Hudson River is a lot wider than people think that it is.
Yeah.
Too.
Well said. Yep. Exactly.
So, but I'm going to have to put that app on my phone now and take a look at the red dots.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just see.
And
because we love going to the lakes around here.
The Great Lakes are basically like little internal oceans. I mean, they're inland oceans, honestly. So
we've got the 2 British guys right now. I don't know if they're still in Michigan, but man, what a bad time of year to go around to the lakes. They went up to Pictured Rocks and it's like, just a mountain of snow. You see nothing.
Jared says fresh water there. Yep, absolutely. Jared's Inferno. Thanks for joining us. Jason Finch is here. He's saying sorry he didn't catch the show. Dude, you can catch the show whenever you can catch the show.
Yeah, part of the Great Lakes are frozen. There's a lot of areas that are still moving though too, especially if you look at like Lake Superior and Lake Michigan. Those things are still rocking and like slamming into the shoreline.
Yep, high winds will keep those waters moving. All right, Michelle, we got one more topic before we jump into our conversation we're going to have tonight that I don't know if it'll piss people off or ruffle feathers or whatever, but you want to take this one?
Are we talking about James Fox?
Yes, James Fox.
All right. So James Fox.
And by the way, this is all we're going to talk about it because everybody's been talking about this.
So we're keeping it to a very short blurb.
I'm even tired of hearing about it.
So James Fox hosted a UFO UAP press conference on January 20th, 2026 at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C., focusing on testimony and evidence related to the 1996 Brazil UFO incident, sometimes called Brazil.
It's Virginia.
That's pretty. That's interesting. Different.
I know.
spelling.
It's yeah.
Sometimes called Brazil's Roswell. Witnesses, medical professionals, and other participants spoke about the case, including alleged non-human encounters, crash retrieval claims, and documentation presented before an audience that included some policy observers. James Fox didn't just do another podcast or documentary interview.
That's right.
He held a formal UAP press event at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. That's the same room where NASA makes announcements, presidents speak, whistleblowers go public.
Yep. It was a 3-hour long conference, so feel free to look it up and take your and take a watch if you so choose. That's up to you for 3 hours. We'll put the link in the show notes for you to watch later. So full disclosure, I'm actually going to do a disclosure thing right now. I didn't watch it. I tried to watch it, and I know I probably should, but I was so tired of seeing little bits and pieces of the Virginia UFO, Brazil UFO thing. So tired of hearing about it. I'm kind of like Brazil, what do they call that? Fatigued out, man. I have Brazil UFO fatigue. And I think a lot of people are kind of saying that right now. And I like James Fox. We own his Phenomenon documentary. And we got that documentary after we had our encounter. That's where we found out that 1966 here in Michigan was an insane UFO time. And then 1994 and all the things that were going on here in Michigan. So if you guys want to look it up, go ahead. I was trying to watch it on News Nation, and it was so badly riddled with technological issues. The sound was driving. I got to have nice sound or I can't listen to anything. Like if sound is off, my ears are that sensitive that I can't stand it. And there was constant feedback in the microphones and delays and stuff. I was like, nope, I just shut it off.
The closest thing this man gets to white noise is a fan at night.
Yeah.
He's a fan sleeper.
Yeah. I don't know what do they call that with audio? An audiophile, right? Instead of an audiophobe, like somebody who's who's afraid of sounds, I actually have to have perfect sounds. Like I love music. I read books by listening to them. Right. So, all right, Michelle, are you ready? Oh, wait a minute. Dorothy just rejoined as a member or renewed her membership for 18 months. I love this show. Thank you, Wayne and Michelle. Thank you, Dorothy. We love having you here. You're awesome.
All right. So this is the part
right,
of the show
here we
where
go.
creativity really
Yes.
goes amok.
All right.
I get to go back to my driving down the road story.
All right. So I already have kind of my feel on this, but Michelle, here's your big question. And I've made you the centerpiece of this show. Are you ready?
Why?
I don't know. Just because I thought it would be interesting.
Okay. So no, this is where. Okay, go for it.
All right, ready?
Go
All right,
for
Michelle,
it.
let me ask you something serious. No laughing. What do you think would happen in this country if UFOs, UAPs, whatever they are, suddenly started appearing everywhere? Not just one sighting, but mass sightings across cities, highways, and coastlines.
I truthfully, I think that it would still be a panic and hysteria. So, because I think that you've got the small group that have investigated this, talked about it, for the past several years, like our chat listeners, for us and the other podcasters, that I think that we may not go into a mass hysteria, but I think that a lot of the naysayers, a lot of the people who have not tuned in and looked into this, I think those would be the majority, unfortunately, and that panic would ensue. So, as far as would they trust the government? Do we trust the government now?
I don't know about that one.
So, well, I don't know if I
Well,
want
do
to
you think
touch
they
that
would do
question.
anything? Do you think they would be out there trying to greet them? Do you think they would be trying to shoot them
I
down?
don't
Or
want
do
to
you think
know
they would be
who would
hiding
be.
in their
I
bunkers?
don't. I honestly don't even want to think about who I would want to be the one to go up and shake a hand or acknowledge their presence.
Hello from Portugal.
Would
Hello from Detroit,
society
Michigan.
actually hold together? Um,
Yeah.
I think ideally, yes, but I think that it would depend on how long there was actual, what do I want to say? Um, the presence, the actual observable presence. I think that over time, people get acclimated and used to things anyhow. Obviously, this would be a huge deal. I was thinking more like, what would Michelle do if I was driving down the road from work and all of a sudden I see all of
Yeah.
these crafts, just appear above, the freeway or the road that I'm on. What would I do? How fast can my escape go? Um, Fast enough, hopefully, to get my butt home and down to the basement because I know that's where I would be going.
So yeah, trying to
But I'm
think
being
of it.
honest. I
Yeah.
seriously would be one of those people that would have to hide first and listen to some ham radio down in the basement to figure out what the heck is going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like the way you were thinking about that because you were thinking more on the personal level.
So,
yeah.
And then you've got, what do you want to say? You've got the idiots that would probably go, after him with some sort of weaponry because they would, form their little groups or militia groups or whatever, be like, we're going to take down these foreign aliens.
Yeah.
And I know that one of the answers was, don't know until, it actually happens.
Right.
Will it happen in our lifetime? Who knows?
Yep.
There's always these predicted dates. Sometimes we hear about, the summer, sometime 2027.
2027.
2027 seems to
Something's
be
gonna
constantly,
happen.
and 27 is my favorite number. So that
That's
just
'cause it's
unnerves me totally. Oh, that you said that's because it's 9. 2 plus 7. So, but I mean, even before that would ever happen, I mean, we've got other bigger fish to fry. And I know that we didn't talk about it on the show tonight. And I know what Wayne knows what I'm getting to. And I had not heard this. Wayne had not heard this.
Yeah, this is something new.
Until one of his previous bandmates had brought it up the other day on the phone, and the call happened to be on speaker, and it was this anchor project about the 2 black holes on August 12th of 2026. I think I got the date right. That
right.
somehow that there was going to be, I don't know, like the 2 black holes colliding or whatever. And now I know we've got it on the docket on the calendar for an eclipse on August 12th of 2026. But this whole anti-gravity thing for 7 seconds, now that conspiracy theory is going to be out there freaking everybody out. How many people are going to stay home on August 12th, 2026 in the middle of summer, not want to be outside? Wayne and I joked, we're like, yeah, we're just gonna take like a day-long nap, turn the TV on. That way, if the gravity does go poof, we'll just float to the ceiling. And when the gravity, kicks back on, we did a poof, just land in bed.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know. I got to do some more research on that one. I've seen a couple of videos pop up about this anchor project that it's like $80 billion and it's through NASA. So,
well, look at what Willow says.
Yeah, exactly.
If anti-gravity is on Earth, wouldn't the Earth explode? Well, here's the thing. I mean, we've got
exploding trees.
Well, yeah, because it's Michigan winter. Trees explode.
It's crazy.
Most people didn't realize that, but there would have to be something that would counteract the mass of the earth. As far as we know, gravity is based on massive objects. The more massive the object, the more gravity it has. So right now, again, it's one of those things where we're just the right amount of gravity for life on this planet, along with the right amount of distance of the moon from the planet Earth. And we've got the tilt of the earth that just so makes it so we can have 4 seasons. And we're in the Goldilocks zone, and all of this stuff had to happen just right for life to happen on this planet. So, I mean, what would it take to counteract the mass of the earth? I mean, there's the mass of the sun. I think Willow might be onto something, talking about the earth would just basically explode. I mean, it would have to be getting ripped apart. You would have to have like different like gravity masses pulling on the earth, but
I just don't see 2 black holes doing it.
No.
So, but like I said,
the black holes are far apart.
It is going to be something that we look into a little bit further. The videos are, I mean, fun to watch, as being from a skeptic side. So
yeah, I see in chat we've got Metalhead is in chat, and he's talking about the aliens are, he sees it more kind of like I am, more of like a spiritual thing than an extraterrestrial. Well, they're extraterrestrials, but not necessarily travelers in that way.
There are some people who need to get spiritual on this planet. Seriously.
Well, yeah, a whole bunch of people. But so I don't know, Michelle, are you pretty done with your what you think would?
Like I said, I still see some sort of chaos. So, but I guess just growing up and working in a small town, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, see, no, I think a little differently than you. I don't think very personal about it. I think more what's going to go on around us. Like you're talking about how you would feel and stuff. I know I would probably be like in awe.
I initially think about myself in the homestead.
You're right.
So I think about the homestead because that's going to include you. That's going to include the girls.
See, and I think us, homestead, governments, people within the governments and stuff like that, what would they do? And I honestly think that all of those people that have been building bunkers and stuff, I think we would see them just disappear. Like they would go and hide.
Oh yeah,
while everybody is left to survive on their own.
That was something that I had thought of too. Like all of those $1 million project bunkers and stuff that we hear of, that all of a sudden, wow, everybody is gone and now we're left to our own demise.
Yeah.
And somehow now doing a better. Never mind.
Right. No, I honestly think that, all the rich, smart people, quote unquote, I use smart and quote there, that have been investing in bunkers and all these rumors of underground cities and huge areas. I think those people, if aliens showed up here, it would be massive, like ontological shock. Like people would start, doing all kinds of stuff and questioning everything. And when people start questioning everything in the fabrics of society, and when you have everything that you've been told basically just ripped apart in an instant from these things showing up, you have people that would lose it.
And here's what I like in chat tonight. It came up about Steven Spielberg's film, and after Close Encounters, of the Third Kind Bat from 77, I bought the film.
Yep.
Wayne watched it.
It's horrible.
Yeah. The cinematography, I just remembered how bad some of the 1970 films were. And then you had, E.T., and it was more of the, the kid friendly, get those Gen Xers ready for what they're going to face one day.
E.T. Phone Home.
So one of my favorite films as a kid. And then,
because every alien has a light glowing in its chest.
It was a heart.
Right.
It was a heart.
And a neck that extends.
God dang it, Wayne, stop. And
That's an evolutionary trait. Maybe when they were still eating leaves from high up in a tree, they had to extend their neck. I took the words right out of your mouth.
seriously, just stop for a second. So then this film that's coming out in June, yes, Wayne and I will be there probably for opening night. If they do one of those like showings the night before at midnight, we may be there for
Maybe
that
even
if
get
we can.
media passes.
So we definitely will be there for that one to see. And it'll be interesting the conversations that people have after that film too, or the skepticism, or just the inquiry.
Yeah.
You know, the people, you know, just being very inquisitive and asking questions after that film too. I mean, it's been a little while.
You know, going back to see if I can recover my thought, but what Metalhead was saying, he was talking about that there's these good spiritual entities and there's these bad spiritual entities and everything else. And I see Brian's making some kind of ridiculous comments in chat, something about ET's finger. But to Metalhead's point, you know, I think you're right. And there have been many reports of these aliens being malevolent and many reports of them being benevolent, right? Some of them help people and appear to those people as certain types of aliens. And then some of them are malevolent and they're lizard people. They're insectoids. They're the Greys doing God knows what, implants and stuff like that to people, doing hybrid stuff. And then, you know, you have people, I think, that are in the know that this stuff is really going on. They have the actual physical evidence and proof that this kind of stuff is going on, or might have even been a hybrid themselves. I don't know. I'm looking at Elon Musk. You know, that dude's not right being that smart and being that successful and doing all the things. And when they ask him, what does he know about aliens? And he says, I don't really know anything. Come on, dude, you've been shooting things up into outer space for a very long time. You know there's something going on, and he won't answer. But he's one of these guys who makes those gigantic tunneling machines, right? He was gonna build a railroad from one end of the country to the other using those huge tunneling types of devices and have a transnation or transcontinental railway. I mean, so it'd be very easy for them to build something underground using those machines. And I think that's exactly what would happen. I think from our research and everything, my opinion is that the normies, all of us, that would be left on the surface of the earth to deal with whatever these things are, we're probably going to find out that there are good ones, they're bad ones. They're not necessarily, I don't want to say demons and angels, but it almost sounds like that. And these have been reported for eons. And they were probably here before we were.
The benevolent versus malevolent.
That's right. And humans are caught in the middle. And
but we've got humans that are benevolent versus malevolent.
Exactly.
So,
you know, they could be time travelers. You know, there's so much to this stuff. And yeah. So for me personally, I think that like the leaders of the world and stuff would all be evacuated down underground and be like, good luck, people. A huge chunk of the population would be up in arms, and it's going to be every man for themselves.
Well, that's why I was talking about militia groups. I could just see more of a takeover with that, because you wouldn't have your officials around. They would be comfortable with their canned goods somewhere else.
Right. It would be chaos, because the only leaders that would probably still be around would be certain military. Right. So in my opinion, I think it would be mass chaos for all us normies, and everybody else who had any kind of a leadership position or a government position would probably be underground in some kind of bunker trying to wait it out. And if they turned out to be malevolent, they would probably pop up and be like, oh yeah, hi, you know, then they would show up. If they were malevolent, they would probably stay in their bunkers until they were done with us with whatever it is that they want. So, and what is it that they want? Who the hell knows? If you follow the Anunnaki and stuff, they want slaves to mine materials for their planet. Right? So there's so much. It's so much to try to hold on to and process in your brain that it really gets out there. But let's see what people said in the poll. You ready? We're gonna
an actual poll that he remembered before we closed out the show, guys.
I know it's the creatine is finally crossing the blood-brain barrier and making me remember things a little bit better. Ending the poll. Here we go. What would you do if UFOs disclose themselves around the world? I have no idea until it happens. Wins out with 51% of you. This is out of 115 votes. So awesome, guys. Great job participating. Love it. Would welcome our space brothers. 37% of people said they would do that. And then freak the hell out is 12%.
I'm in that 12% category. I'm not going to lie. That initial 12%, I'm getting home. So, and what the bad thing is, and I don't know if it's because of teaching ELA and examining literature for so long, or teaching the creative writing classes or whatever, or it's just my brain. I overthink everything. Yeah. So when I put myself into the shoes of this scenario, I start thinking out like everything, single little thing, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah. Look at what our new friend from Portugal wrote. This is cool. Everything in this world is out of balance. So if it's good, there also has to be bad. So it's very possible that an alien could be good or bad. I agree. Yep. Little translation error there. And then we have shoulda, woulda, coulda. A friend from up Canada in the Great White North. Run through my post later. You will see what I've been dealing with. I'm on to them. Oh, send us an email, mi.ufo.podcast@gmail.com. I don't know if it goes to those gifted classes early. Oh, no.
Yep, those AP classes, and shoulda, woulda, coulda also voted freak the hell out.
Yep.
I got you.
Yep. Those kids that are put into those special classes that have been identified by certain intelligence groups. Yeah. What do they call them? Talented
and gifted, but man, I'm telling you, a lot of districts are doing away with tag programs.
Yeah,
I know that we did,
but this isn't through like normal public school or stuff. This is something else that's done through
like a private sector. But I also think of how some school districts that don't know how to deal with advanced students, like how they work with them, because I know that I had a one-on-one English teacher, because what was it, in the second grade I was already reading at a middle school level. So, and my teacher at the time didn't know how to work with me because she was an elementary teacher.
Yeah, I've got one student in one of my science hours that she's reading at a college level. Her scores on her latest test was like 287 or something like that. Like ridiculous, like incredibly bright. And it would be very interesting to see if she gets contacted.
I was that way with math too, but when they say if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
They're not 100%. Joking.
Yeah. Knowledge is just a muscle, just like anything else. You gotta train it or you lose it. Yeah. All right. Well, one last quick bit of news. If you guys heard the music at the beginning of the show and the intro music I've been using for like 5 years, and also the exit music I've been using for the last 5 years, is from an album that I recorded with a band of mine from back in the late 90s. That band was called Thick. Without the C.
Thik.
Thik, yeah. And so 30 years later, all of us old dudes are getting back together. There's going to be a huge reunion show and possibly multiple shows. I don't know.
Wayne's got his guitar in the shop.
So had to get my equipment repaired and looked at and all that stuff because it's 37 years old at this point. It's been all around the country, moved around, and then it's sat for the last 7 years. So getting the guitars worked on and stuff. So if you guys are interested, follow along. Keep checking out the YouTube channel. I'll post information as we start like rehearsals and things, but we got to get our first meeting together. But I just wanted to let you guys know because I've gotten emails that people are fans of the music that I use, and then come to find out that they realized I was the guitarist in this band. So they're like, oh, okay. So just throwing it out there, something a little fun. But Michelle, I think there's a lot of people in chat that might want to do what's on the list for you to tell them to do. If they have a...
Oh, you mean if they have a story that they would like to tell? And I'm actually... Well, after I say this, I've got something to add to it.
Okay.
So if you have a story that you would like to share with us, please make sure that you email us at mi.ufo.podcast@gmail.com. Wayne is laughing at me because I'm talking with my hands too, and you guys can't see it. It's just natural for me. You would think that I was Italian, but I'm Hungarian, and it just, I talk with my hands.
Do that too, honestly.
So... any of you in the Michigan area, specifically around let's see, I think it's Wayne County, out around like Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor, if anybody has ever heard about the tunnels underneath Ypsilanti and any of the hauntings that have gone on in the tunnels under Ypsilanti, please email us at the show, because I am trying to look into that, and there is not an overabundance of knowledge about it. I ran into one video, sparked my curiosity, and now I'm digging.
So if you know anything about that, email us.
If you've been in these tunnels.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, if you want to support the podcast, as a lot of you have done, as a matter of fact, let's talk about that real quick. We had Sir Brian Bowden with a super chat. We had Jolo Vision says, hi, I am I didn't see this pop up.
Yep, I started because I am blind from London, Ontario. When I come to Michigan and hang out with you guys are so cool. Please message me. So
cool. Yeah, well, we do some appearances and things, and when we set up our next one, we'll definitely let you know. Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. And then Riley had her little super sticker that she did. Dorothy did her little super chat.
Look at Brian there sneaking in again.
Let's see. Shoulda, woulda, coulda came in with a big Canadian donation for us. Thank you very much. And then became a member of our crew. So thank you for joining us. Let's see who else. Then Brian came in again with a super chat because, Brian is awesome. Dorothy came in signing up as a member for 18 months. And then we had, I already talked about that. And then Brian once more. Michelle, tell them what a wooden spoon is called in Hungarian.
I am not saying that out loud. I will just put it. I can't do the little marking. I had to look it up again. I'm like, a wooden spoon, because I only had one family member actually.
Grandma?
No, it was my grandfather who would speak some Hungarian.
Yeah, he was at it. All right. So anyways, supporting the podcast, you can do so with PayPal super chats. Check out our merchandise store or join the Patreon. By the way, the thick reunion t-shirts and hoodies are in that same store if you're interested in that.
Shock the world.
Shock the world. It is the album cover with God's hands electrocuting the earth. And then it says 2026 on it. So they're there for you if you want to get one. They look amazing. I'm like so impressed by those. It's really cool. If you decide to become a YouTube member or a Patreon member, as you will see at the end of the show here, you will be listed in the credits as a thank you for the show. Michelle, what else do they do?
Well, don't forget about to sign up for Ray's sighting.
Oh yeah,
Or
I got it pulled up right here. The Swamp Gas My Ass, right?
Yep.
March 20th and 21st.
So, and
2026.
don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share us out. I saw some of the numbers reaching into the 150s tonight.
Yes.
So,
and that's all because of you guys. We can't appreciate you guys enough.
Yeah, we want, like I said, if I did not get to specifically name you out, thank you for joining us tonight.
If we didn't mention you in chat, it's when we don't have a guest on, we're kind of going back and forth in our notes and things, and so we do miss some stuff in chat. So, but
well, and if
doesn't mean we don't love you.
If I start talking, I can't do two things at once because except I can talk with my hands.
Right. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, among others, and listen to the audio of all of our shows. Our whole catalog of 240 shows is out there for you. That's over 5 years of content. We're starting our 6th year coming up in March. Woohoo! But you can head over to one of those amazing platforms, follow the show, leave us a review. It helps us grow.
Is it really the 6th year or is it the 5th year?
No, it's our 6th year.
I thought we started in 2021.
Season. This is our 5th season.
Yeah, that we're in right now.
Yeah.
And then we started videos.
Nope, I got it listed, honey. It's all good.
I'm really good with dates. He better watch out.
Boy. I tell you, women can't live with them. All right. And she says the same thing about men.
And it's a snow day tomorrow, and he's stuck inside with me because the roads are really bad.
I'm in trouble. All right. So everyone, we want to thank you for joining us tonight, sharing some of your experiences and giving us your opinion on the poll. That's awesome. We want to thank you very much. Watch out for the cold. If you're in that snowstorm, that ice band and all that stuff that's going on, stay warm, stay safe.
That it's like just the mass blob. I feel so bad for the folks in the southern states that this is just not the norm.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, we've got a call out or a couple calls out to some guests. Obviously, Randall Carlson is supposed to be getting back with us still. Again, he's very busy. I have a call out to L.A. Marzulli. So if you're not familiar with L.A. Marzulli, look him up on YouTube. Got a call out to him and a call out to Representative Burchett from the actual government panel on UAPs and UFOs.
Yeah, he's not an easy one to try to track down either. Because if you're not one of his constituents trying to like outside of the area code or whatever.
Yeah. So if anybody's got any way to get a hold of him that they could pass along to me, like privately, please email us that at mi.ufo.podcast. Definitely want to get Representative Burchett from Nashville, Tennessee on the show. Dadgummit, get him on here.
Except the dude's got power right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing to consider too.
Yeah. So lots of things going on with the weather and all that. So with that being said, everybody, we want to thank you for joining us once again. Thank you for the super chats, the memberships, the subscriptions, the likes, the comments that'll happen afterwards.
And pray for Wayne on his snow day off with me.
I'm going to be in trouble, guys. If I'm wrapped up in bandages on the next show, you know why.
We'll just tell everybody that you were trying to be a Nelly.
Have a great night, everybody.
Have a great night, everyone.
Have a great week. Stay warm, stay safe. And as always, keep your eyes. Watch the new outro. To the
sky.
And
the outro.
Where is it? Right here.